So today we're talking about improving IRS. It's such a big topic, right? We, who are we, right? And what can we do related to IRS? I'll just give you some stuff that I know. And because I'm sitting on this taxpayer advocacy panel and it knows the roadmap of what IRS is trying to do. And obviously IRS is a government agency and they want to make sure that taxpayers are submitting their taxes properly so the White House can continue the lifestyle they have and, supporting the infrastructure of the country. We all know the reasons for IRS to exist, but in terms of collecting taxpayers' dollars, and how do they do that? And, if we have issues, how we elevate the issues to the proper channel so IRS can become the taxpayers agency and not a, I want to say not the policeman, but then I also think that that's part of their job too. So they want to policing the process, making sure that we're all doing the same thing. That's why they have this criminal investigation side of it. They also have the audit side of it, compliance side of it, right? But in the end, as a taxpayer, we want to make sure that we understand what in front of us, the forms, the requirements, and then knows how exactly we should process in order to meet the requirement. But in the process of meeting the requirement, sometimes you would run into issues. For example, an innocent spouse would be one of the things that a lot of unfairness could happen to the other spouse who doesn't know what's going on with the other person is doing. So those are the things. Continuous improvement at IRS side is. So want to improve IRS and how? I will show you where on the internet you're going to go about doing that. And, we have to brag about Community CPA because we are BBB, Better Business Bureau's member, and we receive the Ethics Award. So this is an award that BBB gives out to people, to the members who had outstanding performance with their customers. And so they're, in every BBB branches, and that they recognize the local business. So we are the ones that get recognized recently. All right, no responsibility disclaimer, that's as always. And everything we share is really a contribution to the wellness of the community, and it is our responsibility, is our desire to contribute to your success. That's why you are here. That's why we are here. Now, let's go to take a look at the Taxpayer Advocacy Panel, right? So this is the panel I was talking about. I'm on, and it's a 3-year term. So this is my last year on the panel. And this is an independent panel of citizens whose mission is to listen to the taxpayers, identify taxpayers' issues, make suggestions for improving IRS service and the customer satisfaction. Look, so no difference. We're just citizens of United States of America, and we are getting together to use our grassroots connection and bring taxpayer issues and make suggestions, right? And this is established, this committee is established under the Department of Treasury, and that increases the opportunities for US citizens to communicate with the IRS. So this is, obviously when you're on the panel and you are required to be a US citizen. So these small group of people would be your vehicles, would be every taxpayer's vehicle. When we talk about taxpayer, that doesn't mean you have to be US citizen, right? Taxpayers are anybody who is making income in US that has an obligation to pay taxes. So that is taxpayer. Even if you are not in US, but you are US citizen, you are making money outside of US, you also have the responsibility. So let's make sure it is really covers everyone who is having a life in US. That's how I would describe it, right? And 10 things to know about Taxpayer Advocacy Panel. This is like 10 things to know about this organization that Ying is involved. So number one is identifies taxpayer issue based on feedback submitted to TAP by general public, and it raises these issues directly to IRS. This is where I want to show you where you can do that, because a lot of times when I mention to people that if you have such a suggestion, go on to improveirs.org, and they don't know where to go. So I want to show you where you go to submit. Submit recommendation to the IRS to improve efficiency, adjust problematic system or procedures, and improve taxpayer services. This would be something more like, for example, last year I was in the committee where we were looking at the 1-800 number. So all the 1-800 number in the system, and the one you call, and how efficient that you will be direct to, and is it too fast? Is this too slow? And if you have a language preference, how does the language preference come through? So those are the things we receive the recommendation from the public, then we digest that into what we need to do. We test the system. So this is submit recommendation to IRS. We'll tell IRS that this particular paragraph is too quick and need to be slowing down so the taxpayer can hear it properly. So those are the recommendations we would be participating in and submitting to IRS. Works in partnership with IRS employees to resolve problems, monitoring IRS progress in implementing and maintaining solutions. So there are times the issues coming from the improveirs.org is very specific to a taxpayer. So in that case, it will be, it came to us, and then, members of our team would be working with IRS to take care of that person, to make sure that we reach out to understand, right? Listen to taxpayers through public forums that are designed to gather information on IRS issue. So, for example, I participate in Immigrant Entrepreneur Summit, which is a nonprofit organization, has this annual event in Minnesota, Illinois, and Iowa. So when we go to those kind of events, we'll put out the tab information. So if happen to be you're there and you saw our information, you would come upon us and say, hey, I have problems with this particular issue at IRS, and I really need to talk to someone. Then that's where we gather that information. That's the tab's function. The members are meant to be your gateways to solve your problem, right? Strive to improve IRS responsiveness to taxpayers' need. Being timely is so important. Sometimes when you have IRS related issue, because this IRS machine is so big, and it's very easy to feel that you're lost in it. You don't know who to talk to. And you call the 1-800 number, the person on the other line says, on the other line says, I'll transfer you to this other place. Then the phone got cut off. That happens, right? And or you waited for 3 and 5 hours, and then the music just stopped and it's also cut off. So that happens as well. So all of these things is contributed to untimeliness. And this is really something we would address every day, all the time, making sure that we do give our taxpayer an opportunity to deal with IRS on their issues, and IRS respond timely. And, this tab place is made up by volunteer members, people like myself, right? We don't get paid by what we are doing, but the satisfaction of having this responsibility and being able to contribute what we know, that is amazing. Because, when the machine is big, everyone's effort could be 0, could also be 100, thousands, 10,000. I mean, just think of leadership, right? If we don't have a grassroots vehicles, and IRS just doing what they want to do, sitting on the top, and then that connection won't be here. TAP would not exist, and the IRS would not be IRS what you see today. But IRS is a place where really procedures are so in details. If you come across certain things, there's always processes, forms, things that you can do to get to where you want to be. I know it is a lot of reading. I know it is a lot of forms, but folks, you rather to have those readings and the forms in front of you, then there's no rules and regulations. People just do whatever they want. Right? So to be in a fair environment, to be treated fairly, that means every little thing that need to be addressed properly. So as those volunteers, and we are from all over the state, the IRS, when they select the members, they're actually looking, they do consider your geographical area to make sure that we cover all the 50 states, not in one group of people, but maybe over 10 years time, and all of these states would have an opportunity to present. And IRS TAP panel also are focused on national initiatives and issues, right? Which means that we're not really going into the state to solve the state issue that may be connected to IRS, but what we are doing is just looking at the IRS because it's national, looking at the IRS 1-800 number, looking at IRS's notices, correspondence, but we are not for the state. Has no authority to address particular taxpayer issues or any issue that not directly related to improving IRS customer service and satisfaction. So what it says that as a member like myself, right? And I do not have the authority to say that, okay, John, I really feel for your case and the frustration. Let me take it on and as the member of TAP and to resolve that for you. No, that would not be the function of the TAP members. And we are here to address issues that will be one recommendation, improving overall performance of IRS. That is what we are focusing on to look at. And of course, you can visit the improveirs.org for more information. I actually go there to log in as a member. So I would have, I'll have an interface where I can document a lot of things and working with the other members. But when you go to improveirs.gov, you have this button where you can submit your recommendation. Of course, TAB also receive your input through telephones. You can call that 1-888-912-1227 number to leave your voicemail and to give an input, but you can also go to the website. So now let me stop sharing the slides, but go to the website to see where we can actually put in those recommendations. Let me just get out of the presentation, come back to this screen right here. So I always said that you can go to irs.gov to look into that improve IRS place. So what I did is I just typed into irs.gov and I came to this main page. And what I did is I just typed in improve IRS. You saw me doing that, right? So once I type in that and I click the magnifying glasses, it brings me to a search result right in here. And the second one is the Taxpayer Advocacy Panel tab page, right? So I have this tab page here. If I click this tab page, I will click this one. And you can see I came into the area that I can actually understand what as a taxpayer and what I can do to improve IRS is right over here. You can see on your left-hand side, this is Taxpayer Bill of Rights. And you really, every time when you get audited and in the letter or in the notification, they give you this copy of Taxpayer Bill of Rights. And I especially want the people who are immigrant to US the first time work with IRS, and I always have my taxpayer to really go through the Bill of Rights because it is not a second nature for people who immigrant to United States. Just depends on what country you come from. Regardless of which country you come from, the Taxpayers Bill of Rights is very unique in US compared to Australia, compared to China, and compared to other countries. So this is really the Bible. When you work with the auditors, then you can feel comfortable, because sometimes if you don't know your rights, and you may feel like you couldn't do this and that, but in fact, and it is within your right to say that, no, I don't want to talk to you because my English is not good. I would like to hire my representative to talk to you, and I would like to give someone the POA. Totally appropriate. You don't have to, and you can designate someone at Community CPA to speak for you, or you have attorney and you can hire attorney to speak for you, as long as they are your POA, power of attorney, right? Then on the left-hand side is also have this local taxpayer advocate. And this is really important. If you have anything like particularly to your local area, and you can find a real person to talk to you, right? If you're a low-income individual, there is tax clinics that you can file your taxes for free. And the IRS report to Congress, this is the places that I would go to sometime to see what kind of things was reported at the higher level, and the Taxpayer Advocacy Panel, and this is what we were talking about, right? So right here, it says that contact tab at our website. So the tab has its own website, and I kind of want to lead you to that website. So let's click this button. And when I click this button, this brings us to a different website called improveirs.org. Remember, I just showed you, I go from irs.gov and I type into Improve IRS, it's brought me to this Taxpayer Advocacy Panel link. When I click that link, I came over here, right? This is where, as a member, I have a member login from here, but you as a public taxpayer, and you just have this burning issue you want to resolve, and you can submit a suggestion. So that's where you go to submit a suggestion. So I click here. And then once I click here, and it tells you why submit a suggestion. So it says that, what would you be willing to give up if you knew that others are giving up their breaks, and the end result would be much simpler system. And so what particular provision of the existing system are especially burdensome or unfair, and let us know. So you see, they want you to comment on your experience of working with IRS, things to keep in mind. Your suggestions should apply to general public, and we will not respond directly to all suggestions, and your suggestions are taken seriously. All right. And I tell you that, yes, it's taking seriously, because literally we, as a member, we're getting a whole slew of lists of things that people submitted. Some of the suggestions are very particularly to a personal case. So it is not really, it is maybe more of a dilemma of that one taxpayer. It is really not the system issue. And so those kind of suggestions, we won't, as a panel, we won't work on it because it is more personal, but it won't be forgotten. It probably got submitted to the other areas, so other IRS staff will be contacting you, or your case will be elevated to the local office, right? But you want to make sure that you filling in your information, because they can't get back to you if you really want them to. So here, and to protect your privacy, do not include any personal confidential tax information, i.e. your social security number, phone number. So I guess right here, if you really have a case that is so particular for you, and you want to go to that local taxpayer advocacy places to talk about that in here, and then you select your state, and then you start putting your comments. But I have seen people giving all their kind of personal information in here, and to make a suggestion. So I guess this is not the place to do that, right? This is a general information. You say, someone could say that, well, this notice, your IRS notice in general, the font is 8, new time room 8, too small, and it should be new time room 12. That would be better. And those kind of things. I'm just making it up. It's not like I think the font is okay right now. If someone really need a bigger font, they just need a magnifying glasses, right? So this is where so you can submit. It's right here. So this is today's topic, and I just want you to know that you do have a channel, and IRS do have this infrastructure put together for the grassroots feedback to be lifted up all the way to IRS. And knowing that, and at least it's a comfort. I think it's a comfort to know that our system is in place and democracy is solely protected, and there's nothing, nobody, not even the president, can take democracy away from the country. So it is really the best place to know that we do have a voice. I hope this is a good place for you to come back again and look at our YouTube channel, learn what we are doing, and at the same time, submit your recommendations, improvement points to IRS, making our job easier, because when you are happy and we're happy, because a lot of our work is related to communicating for you with IRS. So we do have practitioners coming over here to write in to IRS what they need to improve. There's a lot of recommendations got accepted and a lot of smart people in this panel. And I would tell you that I felt like everybody on the panel are smarter than myself. So I really feel very good about this group of people, and they are there to serve you. And I hope that you have confidence in the profession, in our profession, confidence in IRS, knowing that they're trying to do the best job they can to serve taxpayers. Yes, taxpayer first. They serve taxpayers, not the other way around. Talk to you. Bye-bye.